So today we are discussing the assignment, that is assignment number 2. These are the assignment questions. This is problem 1, then problem 2, then problem 3, then problem 4, and then problem 5, right? All of you are having same assignment, but the values are different. So one by one I'm telling you the concept. Okay, I can tell you the concept only now. So this is the first question. First question is based on, in the circuit shown, if X is 15 ampere and Y is 26 volt, then the node voltage V3. Basically, they are asking related to the node voltage analysis or Kirchhoff current law, right? So I'm telling you from the very basic what we'll do with the node voltage analysis method. We need to mark the current first. Like suppose randomly you can mark the current. This is I1, this is I2, this is I3. Okay, this is acha I1 they have already marked, so we can't take I1. So I'm taking it as I1 ho gaya. This is I1, I2, I3. Let us consider this would be I4, this would be I5, this would be I6, and this would be I7. Okay, now the thing is that this is the plain wire, right? ये क्या है? Plain wire है, and you can easily remove this plain wire. Can you remove this plain wire? Plain wire, you can remove it from any point. So technically, if I'll remove this plain wire, then the circuit diagram looks like this. कि ऊपर से that current is coming, this would be 5 ohm, and ये basically this is also V3 and this is also V3. या फिर ऐसे ना बता के I'll tell you through the super node concept. Let us consider this one would be I8. Okay, अब ठीक है? In all the branches we have marked the different current. Clear? Now what we need to do? Apply KCL at node V1. Okay, this is they have mentioned that this is node V1, and node V1 पे KCL states that sum of incoming current would be equal to the sum of outgoing current. जितना करंट अंदर जाएगा उतना ही करंट बाहर आएगा. So now incoming current is, how much is the incoming current? In this case I2, and how much is the leaving current? That is I3 plus I1. Correct? Let us consider this one also another node, node V4. So node V4 also you need to mark the current. Node V2 पे this would be I3 is incoming, right? I1 is outgoing and I5 is also outgoing. Similarly, node V3 पे I5 is incoming, I6 is outgoing, I8 is also outgoing. Now node V4 पे I4 is incoming, I8 is also incoming, I7 is outgoing. Correct? Okay. After that we need to substitute the value. I2 is how much they have given, x ampere, and they have given some values. तो मैं एक random value ले रही हूँ, like 10 ampere. Okay, so it would be 10. I3 is moving from V1 node to V2 node, correct? So it would be V1 to V2, that means V1 minus V2, and if there is a battery coming in the path, then we need to take the second sign of the battery. And what is the second sign of the battery? Positive, negative. That is -2 divided by the resistance 1. ठीक है? Current is moving from V1 to V2. So V1 minus V2 minus 2 divided by resistance. Now we need to take it for I4. I4 is moving from V1 to V4, right? So it would be V1 minus V4 divided by 6. Similarly, again I'm writing I3 would be equal to V1 minus V2 minus 2 by 1. I1, if there is no resistor, as you can see that there is no resistor, then this is the case of supernode. Okay, this is the case of supernode. And in case of supernode, we can't convert it in terms of V by R. We have to take current as it is. I1 है तो I1 will remain I1 only. ठीक है? And I5 is moving from V2 to V3, so it would be V2 minus V3 by 4. Similarly, complete the next case. Okay, now I8, again there is no resistance, that means it's a supernode, so I8 will remain I8 only. Next, I4 is V1 minus V4 by 6. I8 is supernode, so I8 will remain I8. I7 is V4 minus 0 divided by 5. Correct? Now we have to see that how many supernodes are there. One of the supernode is I1, right? Another supernode is I8. So we'll have two supernodes, so we need to make two equations extra. Correct? So supernode की equations, how will we make it? Just see. It would be simple. I8 is moving from V3 to V4. So that would be V3 minus V4 is equal to 0. This is one of the equation from the supernode. Another equation from the supernode is I1. I1 is moving from V2 to 0. So V2 minus 0, and in between we'll have the battery of Y volts. Y, let us consider it as 15 volt. Okay, again I'm taking random value. So it is moving from V2 to 0, and then it would be V2 minus 0, and battery is coming. This second sign, battery ka you have to take the second sign. That would be minus 15 is equal to 0. So V2 minus 0 minus 15 is equal to 0. So from here what we can conclude this supernode equation, that we got the value of V2, that is 15 volt, correct? And we got one thing, that is V3 is equal to V4, correct? So now we'll have how many variables? One of the variable is V1, right? V2 we got it 15. Another variable is V3 that we don't know. And another variable is V3 is equal to V4 only. So I'm not saying V4 is another variable. Another variable is I8 and another variable is I1. So we'll have 4 variable and we'll have 4 equation. We can easily solve it and then we'll get the values. Like suppose they ask you to calculate current. So I3 is how much? V1 minus V2 by 2, right? So you know the values of all voltage. First you need to calculate all the voltages value, V1, V2, V3, V4. Okay. After substituting the voltage value, we'll get the value for the current. Got it? Okay. Now let's see what they have asked you. That if X is 15 ampere means this value is given, Y is 26 volt, this value is given, then the node voltage V3 is, they are asking V3 value. So I told you over here, that is V3 की value, will get it, right? Next in the second question, if this X की value this तो current पूछा हुआ है. In next case, X and Y values are given, then they ask you the power. See, power supplied by a 40 ampere current. 40 ampere current means कि ये वाला power they have asked. Wait, let me tell you. They ask you कि how much power is supplied by this current source. So as you know the formula for the power is equal to V into I. So V is how much over here? V1, right? and current is how much over here, that is x ampere. They have given the values, so you just need to multiply that voltage V1 with the current value, then you will get the power supplied by this current source. Like for this particular case, they said ki 40 ampere, so you need to multiply V1 with the 40, then you will get the value for the power. Okay. Now in question number 4, if XY values are given, then the magnitude of the voltage across 6 ohm. Whenever they'll ask you the voltage across resistor, then in that case, always you need to use Ohm's law, correct? That is V is equal to I into R. So resistance is 6 ohm, current you need to calculate. Like suppose in this case, which one is 6 ohm? Then the magnitude of voltage across 6 ohm. 6 ohm kahan hai? Ye wala, this one. So according to this, you can get the current V is equal to I into 6. What we have taken in the 6 ohm, that is I4. So whatever the value of I4, you will get it multiplied by 6, you will get the value for the voltage. Okay. Next part is different. Okay, this is up to here. Problem number 1. Question 1, 2, 3, 4 all are covered. Okay, now after problem number 1, we'll have problem number 2. That they said in the following circuit, this axis, this we need to calculate VAB. Okay, so basically they want us to calculate current. As I told you, whenever they'll ask you the voltage, then formula use I into R. Resistance is given, X they have given is how much? That is 22. Current we need to calculate. So in this we can consider simple mesh, because they didn't mention now which method we have to use. So use it mesh analysis. This is the current I1, this is the current I2, right? So first equation would be minus 10 I1 minus 4 I1 minus 2 I2 minus x I2 plus 6 is equal to 0, right? Plus minus plus minus plus minus plus minus, इस साइन ऐसे मत लेना, then plus minus. ठीक है, this is the super mesh equation. Another equation we'll get it as I1 is in opposite direction, so minus I1, I2 is in the same direction, so plus I2, that would be equal to 2 ampere. So can you solve these two equations? And after solving these two equations, can you get the value for I1 and I2? And here which current you need? You need I2. So whatever the value of I2, you'll get it multiplied with the resistance, then you will get the voltage. Okay. Yeah, sorry, it will have 3 meshes because grounding same hogi, so you have to consider I3 also. So that would be minus 4, sorry, my mistake, I1 minus I3 minus 2 I2 minus I3. And another equation you need to make it for the third mesh, that would be minus 5 minus 2 I3 minus I2 minus 4 I3 minus I1 would be equal to 0. Okay, let me tell you one thing, तुम्हारे पेपर में आज तक भी मणिपाल में इस टाइप का क्वेश्चन नहीं आया. ओके, लाइक फ्रॉम 9-10 years आई एम टीचिंग मणिपाल स्टूडेंट्स, इस टाइप का क्वेश्चन नहीं दिया उन्होंने. असाइनमेंट में देते हैं, नहीं असाइनमेंट में दे देते हैं ये हाई लेवल, बट नॉट इन द पेपर. Then after that they ask you question number 6. X value is given. They said only the 5 volt source is acting, then the voltage VAB. Basically they ask you the superposition कि if only 5 volt is acting, ठीक है, so that means we need to remove the other sources. Like what happens in the superposition theorem, I'll tell you the basic thing. If there is a superposition theorem, in superposition theorem one time there will be one source only. Okay, one source will be present at a single step and all other sources would be killed. Okay, killing means that if there is a voltage source, then that must be short circuit, and if there is a current source, then that must be open circuit. Okay, so if I'll redraw this diagram, that they said कि voltage source only 5 volt वाला रहेगा, all other will be removed. तो diagram किस तरह का बनेगा? Let's see. 6 volt would be short circuit, resistance as it is, resistance as it is, current source would be open circuit, resistance as it is, resistance as it is, only will have 5 volt source, and then the diagram would be like this. Now again they are asking that if only 5 volt source is acting, then in that case what would be the value for VAB, right? What would be the value for VAB? So again we need to calculate the current, right? A se, so this would be, let us consider I1 and I2. अब इन्होंने A to B बोला ना, तो तुम कोशिश करो कि A to B करंट जाए, उसमें भी मैंने उल्टा ले लिया. ट्राई करो कि करंट वुड मूव फ्रॉम A to B. तो in that case you have to take like this, I1 and I2 means anti-clockwise. Now you can apply mesh analysis, right? Okay, now I'm telling you the equation. That would be minus 10 I1 minus x I1, whatever the value of x is, minus 2 I1 minus I2 minus 4 I1 minus I2 is equal to 0. And the second equation is plus 5 minus 4 I2 minus I1 minus 2 I2 minus I1 is equal to 0. ठीक है? If next is x की value they have given, when voltage VAB, now only 2 ampere of source is acting. Again we need to draw the diagram, only 2 ampere. तो मैं फिर से यहीं पे diagram बना रही हूँ, लिख लिया होगा तुम लोगों ने, that if only 2 ampere of source is acting means all other sources would be killed. So only 2 ampere, that means voltage source must be short circuit, voltage source short, resistance as it is, resistance as it is, current source of 2 ampere, resistance as it is, and this must be short circuit. ठीक है? Again 3 mesh, 3 variable, 3 equation, then you need to calculate VAB. Now after that question number 7 is also done. Now question number 8, if x is this, then you need to calculate voltage. Again वैसे ही निकालना है. एक मिनट. If x is this, then the power dissipated in this. तो power के लिए what you need to do, that is I square R. Okay, अब देखो तुम्हारे पास एक बार, अच्छा इन्होंने तीसरे वाला नहीं हटाया. Okay, anyways power के लिए you have to use I square R. Okay, now problem number 3, right? In this सबसे पहले we can do source transformation, right? Source transformation means we can convert this current source into the voltage source. See how can we convert this current source into the voltage source? In this case voltage source, like this is 10 and y is how much they have given, 115. So we, resistance which is connected in parallel, the same resistance would be connected in series, that is 10 ohm, and voltage formula is V is equal to I into R. So I is how much over here, 115, resistance is how much, 10. तो 1150 volts. Don't go for the values की इतनी ज़्यादा voltage and ऐसी values आ रही है because they have given you the random values. Okay. Now in this question, what they have asked Thevenin resistance, then they ask the magnitude of open circuit VAB seen across A and B VAB, and then they'll ask the current and the maximum power. Basically this is the question of the maximum Thevenin theorem. Okay, in this you need to calculate VTH and in this you need to calculate RTH, right? So first of all I'm telling you for the VTH is equal to VAB. So just imagine, as I told you, you are standing at A position and you need to move towards B. So can you write it down like you are moving from A to C and then C to B, right? So can we write it like this? VAC plus VCB. Yes or no? Okay, I'm redrawing the diagram. This one is as it is, resistance as it is. This resistance and battery I have converted, as you know, this current source into the voltage source like this. Then resistance as it is, and then resistance battery as it is. So diagram looks like this. This is A, this is C, this is B. So VAC is how much? IAC into RAC. RAC is 10, so IAC into 10. VCB is how much? ICB into RCB. Here RCB is 20, so it is 20. Correct? Now you are moving from A to C. Current will also move from A to C. Let us consider I1. You are moving from C to B. Current will also move from C to B. And this one would be I3. Okay? Now tell me IAC value in terms of I1 and I2. A to C and I, can I say that I1 is equal to IAC? Because as you can see that IAC is in the corner branch. In the corner branch there is a flow of single current, and I1 and IAC's direction is same, so I1 into 10. And ICB is how much? ICB is in the middle branch or in the corner branch? In this middle branch. And in the middle branch there is a flow of single current or double current? Double current. So it would be how much? I2 minus I3 multiplied by 20. Why I have taken I2 positive? Because I2 direction is same of ICB and I3 is just opposite. Correct? Now by applying mesh analysis, can you get the value for I1, I2 and I3? That would be minus 10 I1 minus, this is again 10 now, so minus 10 I1 minus I2 minus 1150 plus 60 minus x into I1 is equal to 0. First mesh equation. Second mesh equation is minus 20 I2 minus 10 I2 plus 11500 minus 10 I2 minus I1 is equal to 0. Third mesh equation is minus 20 I3 plus 40 minus 20 I3 minus I2 is equal to 0. Okay, clear? After this question completed, question number 10. Then after that question number 10 के बाद क्या है? Then after that we'll have question number 11, right? This is the question number 11, and in this they are asking VAB across this. Again they change the value or uske according they ask you. Next is they ask you the question number 12. You need to calculate resistance. You need to calculate the maximum power delivered to the load resistance connected across A and B. So if you know about the maximum power transfer theorem, maximum power का will have particular formula, and what is that formula? That is V square TH divided by 4 RL, right? And maximum power के will have one condition also, if RL is equal to RTH, then only in that case maximum power will transfer. So ultimately can we say that V power maximum का क्या formula होगा? V square TH divided by 4 RTH, right? So VTH we have already calculated, correct? This is the voltage VAB, that is Thevenin voltage. Now we need to calculate RTH, है ना? So see how can we calculate RTH for this particular question. For calculation of RTH we have to follow certain rules. What was that rules? That if there is a voltage source, that must be short circuit, and if there is a current source, that must be open circuit. So in this case we'll have the voltage source 60 volt, short circuit, resistance as it is, with this one resistance as it is, current source open circuit, this resistance as it is, this one 10 ohm as it is, and this 20 ohm as it is. So 10, 20, 20, 10, X and 10. This is B, this is A. ठीक है? Now basically we need to calculate equivalent resistance. So you know this ki 20 and 20 resistance. These resistances are connected in series or in parallel? Tell me. These are in parallel. So can we combine it into a single resistance? 20 and 20 will become how much? 10 only. Correct? So now after that we need to use star delta. This is star. Correct? We need to convert it into delta. So delta ka diagram would be like this. So if I'll redraw the diagram would be X remain as it is, this 10 ohm remain as it is, and this is point A, this is point B, this upper wala resistance, this one and this one. So what is the formula for the star to delta? Remember, all resistance 10 है तो 10 plus 10 into 10 by 10. So that would be 30. Okay. Now see, you are standing at A position, you need to move towards B. So 30 and 10 are in parallel, 30 and X are in parallel. Redraw the diagram, 30 ohm as it is. तो इन दोनों को पैरेलल में करोगे, that will be single resistance. 30 and 10 in parallel, single resistance, right? Again you are standing at A, you need to move towards B. This one and this one are in series because the same current is flowing. फिर से इस करंट फ्लो कर रहा है तो एक रेजिस्टेंस बन जाएगा 30 and that resistance, then combined it will be in parallel. This is how you can get your RTH. Okay, after getting RTH, you can put the value in maximum power formula, that is V square TH by 4 RL. RL is equal to RTH only, right? So next question, question number 13. X is this, Y is this. The current I1 is through 10 ohm resistances. So you can calculate current na in I1. That is up to you. You can use mesh analysis, source transform convert kar lena, like current source would be voltage source, then it would be simple 3 mesh, and after calculation then you will get the current, because they didn't mention ki which method you have to use. They just said ki X ki value is this, Y ki value is this, you need to calculate the current. So you can do it by any method. ठीक है? Now after that they said X ki value is this, Y ki value is this, you need to calculate VCD. So VCD, let's mark one point E over here. What would be VCD? That would be VCE plus VED. Correct or not? So VCE is how much? That would be again ICE into RCE. RCE is how much? 20. VD is how much? That is IED into 10. Correct? So now again you have to apply mesh analysis. Then after applying mesh analysis, you will get the value for the ICE and IED. Okay, I'm writing down like you are moving from C to E, E to D. So current would also move in the same direction, C to E, E to D. Okay, this one would be I1, I2, I3. तो ICE कितना होगा? I1, I2, I3 Now next problem is problem number 4. In this they said कि if X value is this, then the voltage VA to this. So basically in this case you need to apply the nodal analysis. Let's mark the current I1, I2, I3, I4, I5, I6, I7, I8. ठीक है? VA, VB, VC, VD, they have all given. So VA value would be equal to I1 is incoming, I4 is outgoing, and I5 is also outgoing. Now for VB, I6 is incoming, I5 is incoming, I8 is outgoing. For VC, I7 and I8 is incoming, I3 is outgoing. And for VD, 4 variables means 4 equation, okay? I3 is incoming, I1 is outgoing, and I2 is also outgoing, correct? I1 would be how much? VD, this is super node because there is no resistance, so I1 will remain I1. I4 would be VA minus 0 because this is they have done grounded, right? By 5, I5 is VA minus 5 minus VB divided by 5. I6 is again supernode, I6 will remain I6 only. I5 would be VA minus 5 minus VB divided by 5. I8 would be VB minus VC by 2. I7 would be 0 minus VC by X because it is moving from 0 node to VC, right? So it would be 0 minus VC. I8 would be VB minus VC by 2. I3 would be 2 ampere. I3 is 2. I1 is supernode and I2 is VD minus 0 by 2. So how many supernode? I1 and I6. We need to make 2 more equation from the supernode. It is moving from VD to VA. So that would be VD minus VA plus 7 is equal, plus 10 is equal to 0. Correct? VD से VA जा रहा तो VD minus VA and battery का second sign. Similarly, for I6, it is moving from 0 to VB, so 0 minus VB, battery ka second sign plus 10 is equal to 0. So from here we'll get the VB value is equal to 10 volt. Correct? Now you need to substitute it. Now question number 15 that you need to calculate VA. VA is how much? That is वो यहाँ से आ जाएगा. We get the value for VA. Question number 16 is X is this VC. VC भी वहाँ से आ जाएगा. Then they are asking VD. ठीक है? So this question is completed. Now the last question. problem number 5. In this, you need to convert this current source into the voltage source. Again, redraw the diagram. The diagram looks like this, right? And they are asking Thevenin resistance. They are asking the Thevenin voltage VAB. They are asking maximum power. तो maximum power तो वहीं से आ जाएगा V square TH divided by 4 RTH, right? So basically we need to calculate VTH and RTH. This is A, this is B. तो RL है, RL को open कर दो. And now you are standing at A, you need to move towards B. A से कहाँ जाओगे? C पे. C से कहाँ जाओगे? D पे. D से B पे. So it would be VAC plus VCD plus VDB. If you are moving A to C, current would also move A to C. Current would also move C to D and D to B. So now you'll have 3 mesh, 3 variable, 3 equation, right? तो VAC कितना हो जाएगा? I1, ये तो जीरो ही हो गया क्योंकि यहाँ पे कोई भी करंट नहीं, रेजिस्टर नहीं है, जीरो. VDB is also 0, so this would be how much? ये कितना है? 10, and this is how much? 1 है तो ये भी कितना हो जाएगा? 10. So that would be 10 I2 plus 10. So simply solve these 3 mesh equation. You will get I1, I2, I3, and then substitute it over here. You will get the value for VAB. -10 नहीं होगा, मैंने पहला साइन लिया है. प्लस माइनस, या तो सबका पहला लोगे या सबका बाद दूसरा लोगे. If you'll take the second sign, then it would be -10 I2 -10. If you have any doubt in the assignment, किसी को भी कोई भी क्वेश्चन पूछना है इस असाइनमेंट से रिलेटेड, then you can contact me on this number. I'll help to you. Okay, bye bye.